This is by no means a new foundation. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And today I'm going to try it out for the first time and do a first impression for you guys. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jess. I'm a makeup artist who lives in Toronto, Ontario, and I am on the hunt for a new foundation for my freelance makeup kit. My all-time favorite foundation, the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, has been discontinued. It's my favorite foundation for myself, my favorite foundation for my kit, and it is no longer available. So I've been looking for something to replace it with. Magic Foundation is a medium buildable to full coverage foundation with a demi matte finish. That means it's not too glowy, it's not too matte. The coverage is buildable, which means I can get a medium or a full depending on what the client is looking for, what the client needs. And the Magic Foundation looks better and better the longer you wear it. So I am looking for something similar to replace it with. I've tried out a few different foundations so far and none of them have really cut it. Most recently I tried the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I'll put a link to the video where I tried this out for the first time in the description box down below if you want to see that video as well. But today we're going to try out the Natural Radiant Longwear. This is a cult classic, a favorite foundation of many people's, and we're going to give it a go. So I'm going to read the claims to you from the NARS website, their description of the foundation. There's longwear and then there's strongwear. Introducing NARS first 16-hour foundation, untraceable, unstoppable, unlike anything else. Longwear is finally lightweight. High coverage is now supernatural. Its breathable, fade-resistant formula is infused with raspberry, apple, and watermelon extracts to help smooth and improve the look of your skin instantly and over time. Wears longer, stays stronger, looks better with each hour. Specialized skin matching technology ensures your most natural match yet. It says medium to full buildable coverage, natural finish, transfer resistant, sweat resistant, fade resistant, non-drying, paraben-free, alcohol-free, oil-free, fragrance-free, dermatologist tested, and non-comedogenic. So 16-hour fade resistant wear, a skin enhancing formula, buildable coverage without the weight, perfectly matches skin tone. I actually hadn't read that before I described the Magic Foundation to you guys, and a lot of the descriptors that I used for Magic Foundation, they use to describe this foundation as well. A lot of the work that I do for my freelance business is bridal. I do a lot of special events, so the makeup needs to look good for a really long time, which is why the long wear feature of this foundation really intrigues me. We're gonna go ahead and try this on. I'm gonna give you guys my first impression and then we are going to wear it throughout the day. It's already 2:52 at the moment, which means we're not gonna get 16 hours to try it out. But if you guys subscribe to my channel, I always give updates of my first impression videos in my vlogs. So we'll try it another day and we'll do like the full 16-hour wear, but we're gonna wear it as long as we can today to try it out. So I've already prepped my skin in the same way that I always prep it. I don't use primers, I just use skincare as primer. So I've gone in with my Mugwort Ampoule from Istri, the Sunday Riley CEO Vitamin C Serum, and the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, which I always use before I go in with foundation, both on myself and on my clients. So let's just go ahead and get this going. Right off the bat, I am obsessed with this packaging. It is so stunning, so beautiful. It has the nice soft touch feel to the lid and to the pump, and I just feel like it looks so beautiful and classy. Like NARS really does amazing packaging. I got this in the shade Light 5. It's the color Fiji. I tried medium 3 Stromboli in the soft matte foundation and it was too dark and too orange. So this one's a little bit lighter. I am quite tanned at the moment. You can see my body is quite a bit darker than my face. So we are of course going to try and get the foundation to match my body, not my face. So we'll see how this color goes for me. I'm gonna do half my face with a sponge and half with a brush. I do typically use a beauty blender to apply my foundation with, but some foundations just look better with a brush. So we're gonna try both. I'm gonna start off with just one pump of the foundation. So actually the pumps are really small, so let's go 2 pumps of the foundation onto the back of my hand. And then I'm going to apply that straight to the face. And we'll start with just a little bit and go in with the sponge and see how this goes. So the consistency is really lightweight and thin. These days my skin is pretty normal. It's not too oily, it's not too dry. If anything, because of the super hot weather, I've been verging more on the oily side. I used to have oily skin, and as I'm getting older, it's starting to sort of become less and less oily, but I would say this summer it's definitely been more on the oily side. I do have a little bit of texture happening on my cheeks. I have more acne prone skin, so I do often go through breakouts. It's a lot better again than it used to be, but there is some texture, so we'll see how this goes over top of that. And so there we have it, you guys. There is just one light layer. You can see how it looks with and without. Right off the bat, I'll say it looks really skin-like. It's done quite a good job of getting rid of a lot of the redness in my skin. I'd say there's still a little bit of redness right here. So I'm gonna take a little bit more foundation and let's see how it builds up. Let's see if we can build up that coverage a bit without it looking too heavy or cakey. Okay. So yes, I would say it's a true medium coverage. It's really nice. You can still see the glow coming through from underneath from my skincare. My skin looks really natural and dewy and glowy still. You can see it on my forehead and the top of my cheekbone. I think the color is good. It might actually even be a little fair for me at the moment, but that's fine. So let's go ahead. I don't have actually a ton of product left on the back of my hand here, so I'm just gonna take everything that's left. And let's go in with a brush. Wow, it blends out so easily. Really easy to work with. So I'd say in terms of coverage, the brush is giving me about the same coverage and pretty much the same finish as with the sponge. I typically like to use sponges with thinner consistency foundations and brushes with thicker ones. So I do think I would continue to use the sponge with this, but the brush works really well as well. Like super easy to blend out. I'm just gonna take a little bit more and do my forehead here as well. So compared to Magic Foundation, I can say that the texture of the foundation is quite a bit lighter. It feels really nice and lightweight on the skin. I am just gonna go in with my sponge on the brush side here and just pat out any of the brush strokes. So there's the foundation fully on. I feel like it looks really good on the camera, which is great. I feel like it looks kind of makeup-y in person, which is a problem that I am consistently having with foundations. Honestly, I haven't really been wearing foundation that often lately. I mostly have just been using tinted moisturizers for the last couple of years. The Charlotte Tilbury Unisex Healthy Glow and the Laura Mercier Light Revealer tinted moisturizers have been like my go-tos for years now. And so I'm wondering if it just maybe feels like more makeup than I'm used to. It does look really good. So I'm gonna let it kind of live. I'm gonna let it sit on my skin. We're gonna keep an eye on a couple of things. Something that often happens to me with foundation is I get creasing and sinking into the fine lines on my smile lines right here. So we're gonna see how it does with that. Usually lightweight foundations are better and don't do it as much. Sometimes I get a little bit of creasing in my forehead as well. So far, I'm not seeing anything there, which is great. It's definitely not disguising any of the texture in my skin. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys right here. I also had a little pimple on my nose that I popped yesterday, so there's some dry skin there, and the foundation's really emphasizing that dryness. So those are my impressions just seconds after first applying the foundation. We're gonna keep an eye on things. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup. I'm filming a first impression on the new Charlotte Tilbury concealer. That will be up already, so I'll link that in the description box as well if you guys wanna see it. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that, and then we'll come back and I'll show you where we're applying powder, and we'll go from there. Okay friends, hello. So I just went in with some under eye concealer. I also used the concealer to build up the coverage on my face a little bit, just where I felt like some of the texture was kind of poking through the foundation. That's something that I would normally do. I did just set underneath my eyes on top of the concealer with some setting powder, and I am now going to set the rest of my face like I normally would as well. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder for this. And I will always just go ahead and set my T-zone, my smile lines, my chin, and then any areas where I added concealer. And so today I added a little bit of extra concealer down here where I had some texture. And then that's all the setting that we're going to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then we will come back after that for my first check-in. Okay guys, so here we are. Here is how the foundation is looking after completing all of my makeup. I did set my makeup today with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I would always do this on both myself and my clients, so that's why we do it in these first impression videos as well. So I think it's been about an hour since I initially applied the foundation. And now that I have the rest of my makeup on, I feel like I'm liking it a lot better than I was when I originally like first put it on my face. I feel like it looks really natural. It looks quite skin-like, but the coverage is really there. There's none of my redness or discoloration really poking through, especially like in the areas where I built it up. I feel like the coverage is really nice there. I definitely do not think that it's looking super dewy. You can see on the tops of my cheeks here, I added some highlighter, and that's kind of the glowiest part of my skin. Maybe a little bit more so on my forehead still too, but not overly dewy, which is good because I'm looking for something more matte. I have a really nice hydrating dewy foundation in my kit already that I love, so I'm looking for something different than that. So that's good. In terms of the creasing around my mouth, this side is always worse than this side, and there is a tiny little bit of creasing happening here, but nothing on this side so far, which is great, and nothing happening in my forehead at all either yet, which is also lovely. So far so good. I'm happy with the way that this is looking. So now I'm going to show you how it's looking in natural lighting. Okay, so here's how we're looking in the natural lighting. I feel like it looks so good, you guys. It looks so good on the camera. Wow. Okay, really nice. I'm gonna grab a mirror real quick because I'm curious how this looks in person. Yeah, you guys, it looks really nice. The coverage is really there. My skin looks quite flawless. I feel like in the end, the color has a really nice undertone for me as well. Even if it is a little bit too light at the moment, I feel like it will definitely work for me at some point. This is kind of the most tanned I would ever be. And yeah, overall, I'm really happy with the way that that's looking so far. Definitely, out of all the foundations that I've been trying out for my kit so far, this one is in the lead. We'll see how it wears for the rest of the day. I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, hello. It is 8 o'clock, so the foundation's been on for about 5 hours now. During those 5 hours, Will and I went for a 1-hour walk, and it's so hot and humid outside today. So I'm curious to see how the foundation held up to the humidity. It also rained for a few minutes while we were out there, so my nice smooth hair had to go up and out of the way. But how are we looking? I feel like I'm looking really dewy, which I do like. It's very like fresh. I prefer a foundation to get dewier than for a foundation to like dry down and get really cakey. I love dewy skin here on this channel and in my life. A few things to focus on. The creasing in my smile lines is super minimal, which I love. This one right here is like hardly anything. I'll zoom in on that for you. And then the one on this side, there's no creasing happening on this side at all. I have no creasing in my forehead whatsoever, so that's incredible. That's amazing. I'd say it's still holding up completely. Like, besides the fact that it looks dewier, it looks exactly the same. Nothing has faded, nothing has creased. All of my bronzer and blush are still like fully on, which I notice a lot with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. That's one of the reasons I really like this foundation, is that it really holds the rest of the makeup that you put on top it in place. This is not a good one for my kit because it's too full coverage and it creases really badly. So it's just not, it doesn't work for enough different skin types. But yeah, this is looking great. Really good. I'm really actually quite happy with this right now. I feel like the radiant part of the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation title is definitely a little more evident than it was before, and I feel like it looks better than it did when I first put it on. If anything looks different, I'd say it's around my chin. It's almost like it's breaking up a tiny bit there, but I could have been, you know, like resting on my chin, or I was eating like noodles for dinner, so maybe I got some like noodles on my chin or something. But yeah, overall for 5 hours, I think it's looking really nice. I'm kind of feeling like I want to touch up my powder a little bit. I think I'll just maybe do it on half my face just to see how we go. So yeah, I think that with like just the touch up of a little bit of powder looks amazing, but I know for most people, if you're getting married or like having a big event, a lot of people aren't carrying powder around with them to touch up with. I've learned this in my years on the job. So yeah, I want to see like kind of how it wears on this side without touching it up. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. It's definitely lasting better than my eyeshadows. I feel like my eyeshadows are starting to like crease and disappear. So yeah, it's doing really, really well so far. I'm quite happy with that. I will update you guys again in a few hours. Hello, it is 11:15. So we have worn this foundation for over 8 hours at this point. This is gonna be the most time that we're gonna get out of it, guys. I'm ready to wash my face and get ready for bed. I'm gonna crawl in there. It's gonna be so good. Let's do a final update, shall we? Let's take a look at where we're at. So I'm still looking super dewy. I actually quite like how dewy and luminous and radiant my skin looks right now. I would say the side that I powdered even has some like luminosity and glow coming through again since the last time I updated and did the powder. And yeah, I just feel like everything looks so smooth. I'm really impressed with how much my blush and bronzer have stayed on my face, especially my blush. Like blush is the first thing to go. And the fact that this is still fully here as if I just applied it, I feel like speaks really, really well. I just feel like my skin looks so smooth and has kind of like that glass-like effect almost with the shine coming through. I'm really, really happy with it. I would say the creasing in my smile line did not get any worse. Here, it did not start at all. I still have no creasing in my forehead, which is wonderful. It just feels really flexible, lightweight, and it has that dew. It does look really nice still after 8 hours of wear. I was out in the rain. I was out in the humidity. I was out walking in the sun for an hour, and it's still holding up really well. So far, so good with the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'm definitely going to try this out a little bit more. Can I say for sure if this is the next foundation for my kit? I don't know. I need to try foundations for quite a while before I'm willing to invest like that much money into a product and to have that be the product that I'm using for all of my clients, all of my brides. So yeah, it's definitely still in the running, which is great. A lot of the other foundations that I've tried, I've known kind of after the first wear that they're just like not going to be the one. So this is off to a great start. I'm going to try it again tomorrow and a few more times this week, kind of formulate an opinion on it. If you guys want some updates on where I'm at, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and I will definitely give an update in a vlog. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below if you've tried this foundation. Let me know what you think about it. That will actually be really helpful for me because I can know how people with different skin other than my own enjoy the foundation. So if you want to leave your skin type and what you thought of the foundation, that would be super helpful for me for buying it for my kit to use on others. You can subscribe to my channel if you're new and you want to see more videos from me, and otherwise I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.